Yo, 1 2 1 2, and what it do? It's your boy Snacks, and you are back with another episode of Just Hear Me Out podcast. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Today we got a few things we're gonna touch on. One would be first off, this is gonna be a rant. It's a small rant, and that's just this whole Jada Pinkett situation. The videos keep resurfacing of old interviews that she's done, and when you listen to and just rehearing it bothers you like you never even heard it the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not old news. You hear it again and you still be just as shocked about the things that she's saying. And it is, I never really gave any attention to when people use words like narcissist or things of that matter. And the way people will paint themselves as a hero or as the victim when they get caught up. You know what I'm saying? And hearing a video where she says that she did it to save Will, to save his ego. So she took she played the adulteress. I mean, but that's literally what, she was caught up in. I don't understand that she said, she made herself seem like the hero. And this is a crazy place to start from. But this is how I got it in my notes. Right after it is Trump. We're gonna talk. And really that's my only piece about Jada that I wanted to talk about. The other part will be that now Will is seen out here with J-Lo. Without doubling back, I'm not gonna double back to talk more about the Jada situation. But listen, I'm happy for him. I'm gonna say that I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's moving on because he loved Jada and he made that clear. He made that evident in everything that he said. And it's been years that I've watched him get dragged behind his wife and her what I would call just need for attention, or just in this last episode, just painting herself like she's the victim or the hero. And it's just wild to me. It's just wild. I've read both of their autobiographies when they came out, so I kind of got their perspective. It's really marriage. It's really relationship stuff, and both of them got issues. I'm glad to see, though, that hopefully he can get away from being dragged. It's going to be interesting to see after this what Jada will now say now that Will's not in her life, unless she's just going to reach back and just tell more old stuff to kind of stay relevant. And then I think the other thing I want to say that I find interesting is that this is resurfacing on social media through videos of interviews that she's done, a year or two ago. But it's resurfacing like it's new, and hearing it, you be like, dang, she said what? She said that? And you really heard it before. You just forget, and they making it resurface because she is returning to this new, different world that they rebooting. She has a spot on it, and so those videos are resurfacing on social media to draw attention. I think because of her showing up on the new different world, which is interesting to me. Because I wonder who would be responsible then for those videos. Because I wouldn't think Jada would be, because they don't paint her in a good light. And then you would think maybe the production company, because we bring Jada on, or we bring the actress back, or the actresses back, or the actress in this case back, because she probably has the most fame that I know of that's going to be on the show, and so they bring her back, because that's going to get the show attention, and then give her attention because that's going to bring the show more attention. But then my thing is, who stirred it back up, or I wonder if just regular content creators, knowing what's coming, they resurface and pull up old videos and then hype up and sensationalize them. So then we go look at them and we be like, wait a minute, she said, wait, what? Wait a minute, and because it's going to be a buzz. With her showing up on Different World, it might be the other way around. Content creators know ahead of time, hey, she's going to appear on the show. Let's dig up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? To kind of in the words of the Napoleon Dynamite, to get the people going. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm rehearing it and I'm like, yo, it's so crazy, bro, how people paint themselves as the villain. I mean, as the victim, or paint themselves as the hero just to get out of, mess that they got themselves in. And yeah, I'm not going to get into accountability, but the older I get, I'm leaving this man versus woman idea, because there was a time when I was in it. But, I think just people don't take accountability. I mean, the women don't take accountability, but people don't take accountability. We gonna move right along before I get in trouble and then I lose followers wherever they at. But next is Trump. Trump was shot at this weekend at Correspondents' Dinner. Somebody ran in and tried to gun him down, or gun down his administration, people in his administration. And this would be like the third time there had incidents arising. And it's interesting when you watch the video. I watched it this morning for the first time, and I want to point out just a couple of things, which at first I was going to say it's not real, because when you watch the video, the one at least from behind the dinner tables facing the podium where Trump and I guess friends are seated, and you see a couple of guards run by, you see some Secret Service run by, and you see them grab Vance and run him out. Then they come back and get Trump and then run him out the other way. But it's crazy because they grab Vance first. That's the first thing. But let's just stay there. They grab Vance first, right? And they run him off. But that's the vice president. Unless there's protocol that say get the vice president out first, it's almost like they choose him. They're like, well, Trump, he's just about out of here. We got to save the next up, And so they definitely ran and got him first, which I thought was interesting. I really don't understand that. And then came back in, or two more guys came in, and then they got Trump, and then some more Secret Service guys showed up and they rushed Trump off. But from the camera in the back of the room, no one moves. No, everybody's seated. The only people running is the Secret Service people. And you're thinking, if shots was heard, how come the whole room isn't upset? Because they looking like, what's going on? And they pan up to one woman sitting next to Trump, and she literally mouths, what's happening? As they running up to rush him off. So that was kind of weird. But then you realize they tell you that the gunman ran through the building. He hadn't made it to them yet, but got tackled. And that joker was fast, because they show another surveillance video where he running through and he just zoomed right past the security. And then they said it started a gun battle, and thank God nobody was injured except for one of the guards took a bullet in the vest, but he all right. One of the agents took a bullet in the vest, but he was all right. And thank God everybody's okay. Even Trump. I mean, I don't want to see a man die. I don't. He may need to get up out of office, maybe, but see him die, nah, that's crazy. That's crazy work. I don't wish that on anybody. But yeah, so that just happened. News, all the news ain't even out. The shooter was alive. That was another thing. And then he was black. He looked like Stephen Curry. I'm not even gonna lie. He looked like Steph Curry was shooting, but he missed. Luckily it wasn't Steph, right? Trump would be out of here. Curry don't miss, baby. But yeah, they got him. I think stories just coming out. Not all the stories coming out is that he's not crazy as far as he's educated. He is educated. He definitely is educated. But he had an agenda. Now maybe as the days unfold, we'll learn what that agenda is. He did have a letter that he sent, I think, to his parents right before he, got in action to commit his crime or his attempt. But yeah, nothing else has come out about that yet. So it's still unfolding, but that's crazy, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't, and I'm not saying because of assassination attempts or anything like that. And thank God the show is small, because probably me saying this on the mic might get me blocked or something. But I don't think I think he's going to wind up getting impeached or something because this is the job that he doing. You know, he definitely is up out of here. Oh, I forgot. And that was the first thing I thought. The first thing I said to myself was, they just playing. This is a distraction. And I say that because one, the first video I seen was one from the side of the podium. It wasn't the whole room. All I could see was everybody that was at the podium, and they rushed up and literally got JD Vance and then ran him out, and then almost like haphazard, lackadaisical, came through, and then they got Trump and ran Trump off, and it almost seemed like if it was a skit, like they were just playing, or if it was a prank, you know. And we are talking to a TV guy. I mean, Trump is a TV guy. Trump is entertainment. Regardless of what you say, Trump is entertainment. I mean, you just listen to the stuff that he was saying during the swine flu, the Wuhan flu, you know what I'm saying? Then the stuff about the Strait of Hormuz, you know, y'all better come open up the border. I'm finna erase your whole civilization. This is crazy. This is antics. These are antics. He is an antician. An antician. So that was that. I thought it was a prank. I really did. I really did. I really did. Oh, and that was another thing too I wanted to speak on. After the shooting, Trump gave a press conference and said, see, this is why we need a golden ballroom. He literally said it. And you see what I'm saying? Antics. He said, we really need a golden ballroom. Now, I did remember this because I don't be remembering a lot, but I do remember he said, this is why we need the golden ballroom, because it's better security. He said the CIA's been wanting it. The military's been wanting it. We have been talking about a golden ballroom for 150 years. Okay. We know that he all go everything. Yeah. So after being shot at, that's what he said. He gets up and says, this is why we need a golden ballroom, because it'll be better security. That's crazy. That's crazy. He used that opportunity to talk about a daggone ballroom. Yeah, he must know he's not going to make it. Because if you listen, I'm not no conspiracy theorist, but, you know, I think it is the desire of every president to leave a lasting mark. And there's his, because I'm trying to think, you know, in his last presidency or his last tenure, how he said, his last, you know, term, what did he do? What did he do to say, okay, this is Trump? You know what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing. That golden ballroom, that's finna be in the name of Trump. Let's see what he gonna name it. Watch. For real. But yeah, so that's that. Like I said, it's fresh. It's fresh out the fish grease, right out the fish fire. So we're gonna move right along to another story that I wanted to speak on, and that is Kevin Hart and his wife Eniko are getting a divorce. And Aniko's getting a divorce, wanting to divorce him because she says that he shouldn't still be sending money to his children by his first wife, which is crazy. I don't really understand that. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you're mad because he's sending money to his children, period, no matter how old they are. And what is that, you know, how is that hurting you? I would ask, you know, are you not benefiting? Maybe she got money on her own, you know, to say, because if I didn't have no money, I wouldn't be talking about the money you give somebody else. I'm trying to get some of the money you get. I don't get it. And this is a question I actually would like to ask the ladies. And that would be, do you have a problem with your husband sending money to your stepchildren, to the children by his baby's mama, you know? And should there be a cutoff time? You know, should there be a time when he stops sending them money? That's the question. So, this doesn't make any sense to me. And when you get into a relationship with someone, if you love someone, you love who they love, and that's really how it goes. You get into a relationship with someone, you love who they love. I mean, if you want to be in that relationship. And it's sad when you see that you will love a person, but then you don't love their seed. And that's man on woman, woman on man. You don't love their seed. How do you not love what they love? Because and then how do you not give to them? But I guess maybe at this point, if they're older children, it's just a matter of how you were raised. But in a place where you got plenty, why are you worried about what someone else gets? That would be my thing. But I don't know. And that's just a report online, and I'm reporting on social media, what I see on social media and in the news. So, yeah, that's that. And then there was one other story that I wanted to touch on. And I'm going to say it, and then we're going to just keep right on moving. And that's with Lori Harvey leaving Damson. That's Snowfall. That's my guy from Snowfall. I meant to go look up his last name. Let me see. I got time. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Damson. But that was a good show. I love that show. I love Snowfall. I hate how it ended though. The main character in Snowfall, I can't remember his whole name, and that's why I had to go look. Franklin Damson Idris. Okay, so it was Damson Idris, and I thought it was Idris. I seen that. So Damson Idris, she breaking up with him. She claimed he too nice. This is another one. Another question for the ladies. I don't get it. What are and ladies, this is my question to you. I'm gonna use Opus Clip to try to get these clips printed out, and I hope Opus clips. I'm gonna see if Opus is gonna clip this on his own. But the question is, ladies, can you please tell me what does it mean that a guy is too nice? How nice should he be? What defines too nice? And what is it that you don't like about it? I'm going to say that this is not to shame people from saying they don't like too nice of a guy. I'm going to actually give you kudos because you know yourself enough. If your response is going to be what I think it is, and I'm not going to put it in your mouth. I'm not going to tell you what to think so you can get these kudos. You're going to have to work for these kudos, mama. But I will tell you, if it's what I think it is, I will applaud you on your self-awareness. I will applaud you on your self-awareness. But then I'm going to say, get fixed. Get fixed. And I don't mean biologically get fixed. I mean emotionally, mentally get fixed. Yeah. Because what's wrong with your partner not being extra nice on you? Ain't that what you want? I don't know, but and that takes me to, today's thought, and that is going to be still the Mastering Life, right? Because I'm still in my book, In Search of the Meaning of Life by Viktor Frankl. But what we're going to talk about is overstimulation, which is my issue, right? I learned around the early 40s that I learned or I became sensitive to just noise, to too much interaction, and I started pointing it out. And in the home with my ex-wife and my children, the things that would bother me would be in the living room with I'm in the living room with the TV on. One of the children may walk in there with the YouTube on their phone, and my wife and my ex-wife and maybe my mother-in-law are right there in the dining room, right next to the living room, having a conversation, and everything becomes noise, everything becomes chaotic, and I get overstimulated, right? And then I'm looking for somewhere I could go that's quiet, and the house was small. I did the same thing in the middle of crowds. If I'm tired and it's too much going on, I would say even today, this morning, I went to the breakfast spot and they were packed. I normally like getting to the breakfast spot early before anybody goes there, just because it's more peaceful. And it was before I ever dealt with stimulation or overstimulation that I would like to be at the breakfast spot early. A lot of people don't bother me, or typically didn't. It usually didn't. It used to not to. It used to not bother me. I can sit in a crowd and love it. I'm a people watch. I'm a vibe out. But today, overstimulation. It was too noisy. I literally just sat with my hands folded, and then I was on the phone. But I literally just sat with my arms folded. I didn't even play on my phone, and that's normally my go-to. While I'm waiting, I just play on the phone. Anywhere I wait, I'm just playing on the phone. But I had to sit my phone down and put my hands in front of me and just sit, because it was too crowded and too noisy. And this is not like me. I'm a people person. I like a crowd. I thrive in a room full of people, But the older I get, the more that's not my steez. And I'm realizing that I become quickly overstimulated. And so I begin to think of myself about 2-3 days ago, what can I do to battle this overstimulation? Because I can't keep crying overstimulated and expecting people to give me room just because I'm overstimulated. Hey, can you just give me a second because I'm overstimulated? Or can you watch out? Or can I got to get away from this noise? Or can y'all turn it down? Or because I'm overstimulated. That's just one aspect of me, and I can't let overstimulation run me. And so I begin to Google things that I can do in a crowd if I can't exit when overstimulation begins. For me, this is a part of life. I learned that peace is something that sometimes you have to practice. It's not just found. You got to work on being at peace. And that starts within. Being able to quiet my mind, even in the middle of a busy room, even when a lot is going on. And knowing how to do it. I can't let frustration get the best of me whenever I become overstimulated. I got to begin to master it. I got to be able to begin to deal with the overstimulation, because I can get irritated, and then, my words may get tight or may get rude or mean. And I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live being a victim of overstimulation. The day I thought about it and I got to journaling, and I may just read you the journal post, that'll probably be better, that I'm not disabled. Matter of fact, let me just read the journal post, because that was probably one of my best journals because it was well thought out. And yeah, it said, let me just read that. And it's crazy because it's gonna be the second episode in a row that I just start off reading something. It says, I really got to learn to quiet my mind, even in the midst of a lot of noise. This thing of overstimulation I need to address. I don't have to be subject to it. It doesn't have to dictate how, who, and when I interact with others. I can learn to find peace in the midst of it. In the words of Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, I can master living. That for me means not just learning myself in order to just accept what I find, but also making changes where I can that allow me a better life, even in noisy ass situations. I can't always simply cry overstimulation and then look for an out or want people to cater or even be understanding. I'm not disabled, and this damn sure isn't a disability. But what it is an opportunity for me to learn to master another level of myself, and in doing so, making life easier and less stressful. It would be a return to the old me of my youthful days when I was more happy, and that happiness came from within, despite where I was and what company I was in. There was something in me, a joy, a contentment that, like Negro spirituals say, the world didn't give and the world can't take it away. I do see this as a step in the right direction towards my goal of being who I used to be, loving and kind and long-suffering, given to patience, even in trying situations. These things would give me more opportunity to be more thoughtful and intentional in my dealings with others, and less reactory. I can then happen to situations and people around me instead of things and people happening to me. So yeah, that's what I wanted to press today on today's episode, is that whatever you got going on, those things inside that you can change, that you might see could make you better, help you to enjoy your life. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's try to tackle those things, whatever it may be. Let's try to tackle those things so we can grow, so you can grow. You don't have to be held captive by things like overstimulation. You don't have to let it be the boss of you. You can be the boss of it. So that's it. I don't really got anything else to say. So yeah, that's it. We touched on a few topics that I wanted to touch on, and now we're gonna close out. Listen, I want to say I wish those who got the video, you can see that I'm kind of lit up a little bit differently than I normally am on the show. I am working with getting some better lighting in here. I want to start live streaming. I want to start twitching. I want to start interacting with people in real time. I want to be able to take call-ins. I got a lot of things I want to do. A lot of things that I want to do. And thank God I got the rest of my life to do them, because what I am going to do is drop these podcasts for the rest of my life. This is my retirement. This is my retirement, baby. So we can only do is get good. I'll be the best, even if being the best is because I just outlasted everyone else. I'm here for that. It's your boy, Snacks. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, y'all hold it down. If there's anything, any comments, leave them on, wherever you're listening to this at. You can reach me on the socials, at Snacks, SNAX 1224. You can DM me. I'll be there on Instagram, dchavis30 at yahoo.com on email when I check it. Yeah, I'll check it at least once a week. I have to, which is remind me, I got to go look at it today, if not tomorrow, to sign my time card for work. But yeah. I'm working on being more structured with the podcast too. More structure, and I'm working on getting interviews directed to certain topics. I'm working. I got me a podcast planning schedule, and I've been filling it in. And I've been making my calls, trying to get people to come on, having a wheel and deal in order to get them to come on. I just promised somebody that the homie who been begging me to come back to the gym to train. I'm gonna have him on soon, hopefully. I guess I can't tell you too much, because I don't want to tell you and then it not happen, and you be like, wait a minute, you said da 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 da, and we ain't seen none of that, my boy. But yeah, so that's it. Choose again. Thank y'all for listening. It's your boy Snacks. I'm not gonna hold you up with too much rambling. Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment. I respond to all comments everywhere on all things. But yeah, that's your boy Snacks. Thanks for listening. Deuces.
Just Hear Me Out podcast with Snacks and Big Flav. Not a tongue bitten and always worth a listen. Weekly on your favorite platform.